I'm kind of a speed demon. I really like going fast. And I think all my pushes are just fast. I don't really know how to like slow down. They're always just the same pace because I always want to try hard.
The Scottish Borders is home to British wheelchair racer Samantha Kinghorn. She can often be seen pushing along the hilly roads in her signature pink chair, clocking speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. The 22-year-old is a double world champion, and this is her story. As a child growing up on her family's farm, Sammi dreamt of travelling the world, and she was always an active youngster, as her father Neil recalls.
I think Samantha, ever since as soon as she got off the ground, stopped crawling, found her legs, the wellies, Samantha would get to shout at Mummy, come and tidy your room up, and Samantha was down in the farm like a shot. She'd rather be out as in. She was an outdoor little girl. She just wanted to follow Dad round about and get dirty.
However, when Sammi was 14, back in the December of 2010, she was involved in a life-changing accident.
I remember the snow was really, really bad. It was the most snow I'd ever seen in my life. Dad was out on the forklift trying to clear the roads as much as possible because every morning you'd wake up and there'd be another foot of snow. And for some unknown reason, I decided it would be a good idea to jump onto part of the forklift. I still have no idea why. And I remember climbing on and thinking that my dad's seen me, just showing off a little bit as I sit on part of the forklift. While Dad was driving along, he had the boom with the shovel on the end risen up high, so I jumped on underneath it, and Dad just carried on with his job, and I was crushed inside. I remember the first feeling was guilt. I remember thinking, I'm going to die, and my dad's going to think that he's done this. How he's not going to be able to live with that?
I think one of the worst days of my life, I suppose. You don't ever want to harm any of your children in any way, but to do it in a physical way, I will always regret it.
And I could feel my heart like it was pounding inside my head, and it must have just been that, you know, that fight for survival, that moment of, no, this isn't going to kill me, I need to get out, and I need to get out now. And I remember watching as Dad shoveled up some snow, and then he started to lift the shovel up, and I just thought, I need to get out now, and I need to run. And so I remember sliding myself off, and I started running, and I slipped and I fell, and I remember I was lying on the ground, and I could feel my toes all starting to curl, and then all the muscles in my legs starting to twitch, and then everything just kind of tightened up, and it felt like I was getting cramp all up and down my legs, and then everything just kind of let go. And I knew that was the last time I was going to feel my legs again.
Sammi was airlifted to the Southern General Hospital in Glasgow, where she underwent surgery to help stabilise her fractured spine. But the damage was too great. Physiotherapist Claire Lincoln had the difficult job of telling Sammi and her family that she would never walk again.
I don't think it's easy for anyone to hear that news at any point in their life, whether you're young or old. It's always such a difficult thing to have to say to somebody as, you know, a therapist or as a doctor or a nurse.
I knew how hard my mum and dad were going to find it, and I knew that if I started crying, then they might never stop. So it was that moment I just kind of had to be like, I have to be the adult today, and I know when they come in this room, they're going to be very upset, and I have to tell them it's okay.
I'm sure you won't be doing that now. And sometimes we do get surprises, and people recover far better than we expect them to. Unfortunately, in Sammy's case, the function in her limbs and her trunk didn't change. But I think very early on, both Sammi and her parents had an excellent outlook and an excellent attitude to her injury and how things should move on.
I think I had no one to blame. Like, it was my fault that I was in the situation that I was in. So it's kind of like I can sit here all night and I can say, what if? Why did I do that? What if? I'm still going to wake up every morning and I'm still going to be paralysed. It's not going to change it. And I think I learned that very quickly.
Sammi's positive attitude right from the start was infectious, despite the many frustrations of rehab. natural athlete, she would often compete against fellow patients in the hospital gym. And as she grew in strength, Claire introduced her to wheelchair racing coach Ian Murphin.
The first few years were quite exciting. She was a real roller coaster because she was running way ahead of where she should be in terms of development. She was getting very fast very quickly, which for somebody so new into the sport doesn't really happen. We talk about long-term athlete development and 10,000 hours of practice to be good at something. I think it was probably 10,000 minutes with Sammi, and she was very good very quickly.
Just 2 years after her accident, Sammi competed in her first competition, and soon after she made her international debut, representing Scotland at the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
To compete at home games, I think for any athlete is incredible, and I've had so many opportunities to do that. I've been so lucky, and for it to be my first one in Glasgow, you know, where my rehab started after my accident, you know, where my physio, you know, my first ever physio was from, and I think it meant a lot to me to be able to, you know, kind of show off my new life, you know, how my life's changed, but it's still incredible. And my granny and all my friends and family were able to come up and see me, and that was amazing.
With a newfound belief in her abilities, Sammi went on to qualify for the 2016 Rio Paralympic Games, where she made the final of the 100, 400 and 800 metres. The following year, she won gold in both the 100 and 200 at the World Para-Athletics Championships in London. She set a new world record in the 200 with a time of 28.61 seconds. Her next challenge will take her to Australia's Gold Coast for next month's Commonwealth Games. She'll compete in the 1500 metres and the marathon. Sammi's first marathon in Chicago last year saw her record the fastest debut time ever for a female wheelchair racer.
Sammi will achieve whatever she sets out to achieve, is my view, and she's already confounded what I thought she would do up to now.
You know, I want to be Paralympic champion. I don't think any athlete can really go out and compete each day if they don't have that, you know, incredibly high hope of one day being the best in the world. That's my main aim.
And the winner of the Disability Sport Award is Sammi Kinghorn.
Her fierce independence and positive attitude earned Sammi the title of Sports Personality of the Year at the recent Scottish Sports Awards. She became the first para-athlete to win the prize, which has been won by Andy Murray, Chris Hoy and Catherine Granger.
It's so different, you know, even the push technique and everything that we have to do in the
It's nice to see her win, and it's nice to have her be like seen. People are now seeing her, you know, not always just the chair like it used to be, or pitying her. You know, they're now thinking, oh wow, you know, she's achieved some very special things now.
There's no point wallowing in the past, because at the end of the day it's not going to change it. I think you just need to move on and make sure you're taking them opportunities and make sure you're working hard. It doesn't matter where you've come from, what background you've had, what disability you've had. It doesn't matter. As long as you try harder and you work harder than anyone else, I do believe that you can make anything come true and you can achieve incredible things.
Although she doesn't like being described as an inspiration, Sammi Kinghorn has certainly become a role model for many, not least her friends and family.
I think everyone goes through hard things in life, and I don't expect people, and I hope no, you know, I don't want people to go through things I've gone through. But I just want them to accept that things happen, and it's not supposed to be a nice flat road and really easy. You know, I want to achieve great things, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to achieve incredible things, because I know I've put my family through the ringer, so I want them to watch me and say, wow, you know, even though she's gone through that, she's come out, you know, a brighter and better person on the other side.